At the outset, I would like to thank Hina Bhatt of Hina Bhatt Art Ventures for giving me this opportunity to talk on the development of modernity in India. The decade of 1940s had remained crucial in the development of modernity. Calcutta Progressive Group, which was established in 1944, had as its motto, Art as International and Interdependent. In 1947, the Progressive Artist Group in Bombay also established their motto, whereby they said that they wanted to paint with absolute freedom. This talk is centered on the development of modernity in Delhi in a group that was established in 1949 known as the Delhi Shilpi Chakra. The country's partition in 1947 was the most painful saga of separation and displacement. In Delhi in 1947, Sharda Yukil School of Art and All India Fine Arts and Crafts Society were the only two organizations which offered limited platform for the artist to display their work. IFACS, or the All India Fine Arts and Crafts Society, as a matter of fact, was the only organization which allowed artists to be members, but it was administered and controlled by non-artists, non-professionals who had no idea about art or the visual language, and neither were the artists given any power in its planning and programming, and hence not allowed to in a way participate in its various developments, especially of art organizations. In 1946, Bharat Yukil, the General Secretary of IFACS, in a conference had mooted the idea of a central organization for arts. Somehow he had anticipated post-independence there would be a requirement of such an organization that would conduct, promote, and develop the art activities within the country, and at the same time also frame rules for future policies for the arts. Nevertheless, this never happened, but it was a good foresight. And after partitions, there were many artists who came away from Lahore and they settled in Delhi. And IFACS was the only platform which offered a membership. So many of the artists took up the membership but could not stay within it for a long time, for the reason already explained, that it was administered by non-professionals who had no commitment and who had no idea about art. As a result, there was a lot of discontent, anger, frustration, and eventually 3 artists who were council members tendered in their resignation. This resignation would have gone unnoticed, except for the fact that after tendering the resignation, they immediately started an art organization which came to be known as the Delhi Shilpi Chakra, and it was established on March 25th in 1949. The 3 artists initially who were council members of IFACS and who had tendered in their resignation were P. N. Margo, Kamal Krishna, and K. S. Kulkarni. Then, along with other artists, as B. C. Sanyal, who had also migrated from Lahore to Delhi and who was elected as the first chairman of the Delhi Shilpi Chakra, the sculptor Dhanraj Bhagat, were a few other members who formed the core group of Delhi Shilpi Chakra. Later on, other practicing artists also joined in, like Devyani Krishna, the artist wife of Kamal Krishna, Har Krishan Lal, Ram Kumar, Satish Gujral, K.C. Aryan, Jaya Appaswamy, Avinash Chandra, Damayanti Chawla, and many others joined the group. And they took a very active part in this development. Now, the core group which established Delhi Shilpi Chakra, their premise was that art should be brought closer to the public, It should be patronized by the intellectuals, and a close relationship must be established between creative people like the writers, the poets, the theatre people, etc. With this view, they developed a motto, and that motto was Art Illuminates Life. They brought out a manifesto which said very clearly that art should not be divorced from people, and that art in a way should express the soul of the nation and also align with its forces to be made progressive, so that art and the artists can create a lively national culture. They also realized that only artists coming together and putting their art together would make this possible. So when they established the Delhi Shilpi Chakra, they also established an art activity center where the five core members, namely B.C. Sanyal, Dhanraj Bhagat, Kamal Krishna, P.N. Mago, and K.S. Kulkarni, played a very instrumental and a seminal role in driving forth their agenda of bringing art close to the public. This was the time in the late 1940s that Delhi did not have any commercial establishment or the gallery culture that we know of it today. And in order to fulfill their aims and objectives of bringing art closer to the public, they began to use the mohallas or the local residential quarters as a Chandni Chowk, Karol Bagh, and they even made use of the university campus. Then at the Connaught Circus lawns, they made use of it to hold demonstration in various mediums such as the oils, watercolors, and various other techniques, etc., which attracted the interest of a large number of public, ordinary people who were interested in art but did not know much about it. They came, they participated, they saw, and they were much impressed by it. At the same time, they also wanted to sell their art. They were equally eager that their art should be sold. So they said that it's not just the elite or the connoisseurs who will buy the works of art, but it will be all types of, the people who will indulge in buying it. So art was sold to university teachers, to lawyers, doctors, writers, actors, theatre people, etc. And they also evolved a methodology by which if a person liked a work of art, they could hire it for a few months and hang it in their home. And in the process, if they liked the work, then it was possible to buy it by a straight down payment, or if that was not possible, then they could pay by installments. The main idea and the main aim was to expand the base of the public, to bring in more patrons and hence bring in more awareness of the art largely to the people. Now this remained their main focus, the centrality of the development of the organization, the Delhi Shilpi Chakra, which really helped them. Also, Delhi Shilpi Chakra is said to have been credited by establishing the first art gallery known as the Shilpi Chakra Art Gallery. And this was in a building where Ram Babu of the Dhumimal organization was selling art materials on the ground floor, and he let out the first floor space, and that is where the first Shilpi Chakra Art Gallery was established. Initially, it was thought that the artists themselves would administer the gallery, market the artworks, and also help explain to the public the artworks when they organized exhibitions. But very soon they realized that the artists also had their preoccupations, they were equally busy in their creative expressions. And soon Ram Babu called V.C. Sanyal and told him that it was not possible for the artist to run it, so why not employ somebody, an outsider who could administer and at the same time market the works of art. And it was in this respect that Kumar Jain, a very savvy, shrewd businessman, was called in to administer the gallery and market the works of art. Kumar Jain very soon realized that this could be a very lucrative business. So he soon left Shilpi Chakra Art Gallery and he started his own gallery, which is today the famous Kumar Gallery. Now, since the artists were not able to manage the gallery, eventually Shilpi Chakra Art Gallery was closed down and it was taken over by Ram Babu and his family, and it came famously known as the Dhumimal Gallery, after which the tradition and culture of galleries started in Delhi in the late 1960s. If you have seen the earlier groups like the Calcutta group or the PAG group in Bombay, they did not last for a very long time, maximum 6 or 7 years. Bombay group was hardly for a year or two. But Delhi Shilpi Chakra, it lasted until mid 1960s because of their various policies of bringing art to the public. They basically did not have any political ideologies as such, but every time an annual exhibition was held, they invited eminent artists like Sailos Mukherjee, K.G. Subramaniam were invited to participate in the exhibition, to interact with the artists, and to create a dialogue on modernity with many of them, bringing in the awareness of what the modernity in India is and how it should develop. At the same time, they also interacted with various critics like Charles Fabry, who headed The Statesman, J.S. Swaminathan, and A.S. Raman. Delhi Shilpi Chakra made such an impact that soon they were invited to exhibit in Bombay, and this was done on the behest of P.A. Narielwala, a connoisseur of art, K.K. Hebbar, and of course K.H. Ara, who were responsible in sponsoring this exhibition of Delhi Shilpi Chakra, where 16 artists participated, and there were 46 exhibits of painting and sculpture. And this made a huge impact not only on the artists but also on the public of Bombay. So Delhi Shilpi Chakra in that respect played a very seminal role in the development of modernity. It came up crucially at a time when it was most required. It was an exigencies of the time that such a gallery be set up. So their aim of bringing art to the public remained successful, and many of the artists later on, of course, when the gallery culture came up, they began participating less and less in Delhi Shilpi Chakra and began to be part of the gallery where there was a lot of self-marketing, self-promotion, etc. in order that they develop their art. So this was the seminal contribution of Delhi Shilpi Chakra in the development of modernity in India post-independence, when it was established in 1949 by these 5 core group members and many others who joined in.